Hello everyone, this is Aechmea cylindrata, a species bromeliad from Brazil. It really is a very small plant and is an excellent specimen to be grown as a container plant. The whole inflorescence is about maybe 2.5 to 3 inches, and it comes out from its cup as this really nice pinkish white inflorescence, and as the inflorescence grows, these white or whitish pink sheets retract, showing these really beautiful blue flowers. They don't open completely. It's not fragrant. The whole plant is about maybe a foot in its length and maybe just a little over a foot in its width. It is in part sun for me. I do water the plant in its cup to take out the stagnant water once in a while. Pale green leaves and the margins are not serrated, so I can handle this plant easily, and it's really a beautiful, beautiful plant. It is about 87 degrees today, so it just loves this weather, 87 degrees Fahrenheit I mean. And it does pup readily, and this is one of the pups that started to grow. So it will make a great border plant or a container plant, and it's really a beautiful, beautiful flower. That's the whole extent of the plant. I would also like to comment on the growing area of this plant. It is in part sun, as I said, and it grows along with the rest of my potted plants here. This is a lot of potted plants. It has cycnoches, a few dendrobiums, epiphyllums, hoyas, and even, of course, a dendrobiums that's blooming. This is Dendrobium pathinum that is blooming now. But in regards to the watering schedules, I do leave a little moss so it can keep it moist a little bit. And as I stated multiple times, this is the damage I have, sometimes because a possum or a raccoon jumps over the plant. And when I talk about the microclimates, I do watch the sun very carefully. And the reason I say that is, recently when I potted this plant, I repotted this plant. I moved the plant just about a foot, and it got sunburnt, completely sunburnt. And I think that happened in just one day. So I moved the plant back about a foot, made sure it's in shade, and it's just beginning to get a new growth right there. So I am very careful, otherwise I do lose plants. So I guess one of the disadvantages. To keep plants moist, this is a Stanhopea, and it's in mostly moss and sphagnum moss, and it's wet. You can see the green moss developing over there, and it's growing. So let me show this plant. That's how it grows. So I am careful about mostly the potting media and the sun exposure. Even by moving a foot, I think I can decrease the temperature by maybe 5 degrees Fahrenheit or something, and that would be helpful. And some of my plants, especially plants like bog plants, I'll show you that also just in a second. To show the bog plant, this is one of it that I grow. This is Sarracenia leucophylla, a carnivorous plant. This is the only carnivorous plant I grow. And so since this is a bog plant here, here it is. It grows in water. This is pure rainwater. I collect that in a tub and I leave it in the backyard. So whenever it gets a little empty, I just fill it up. So to show the various growing conditions. In fact, I don't fertilize this plant. Here is the other corianthus that I grow, and it's grown in pure sphagnum moss, and you can see the nice green color on top of it, and all these milkweed seedlings and the seeds that are trying to grow on it. Just a note about the various critters that an outdoor garden or outdoor gardener has to be aware of. Snails, of course. Whenever there is rains, there's snails. And these are the bulbs that I got sometime last year. Hippeastrum reticulatum bulbs. As you can see, the midrib striation there. And it did grow about almost 2 inches in size, and the bulb got hit. There's one more bulb here, and there's one that will show up somewhere. Let me see if I can get a closer, better look. Yeah. So that is one other bulb right there. So as they began to grow, they got hit by snails, and this is the whole snail damage. So the bulb is trying to recover. This is not red blotch, at least that's what I think. I think it's trying to recover. They really do like tender leaves, but I guess who doesn't like tender leaves in their salads, right? Just to give you a comparison, this is another plant that was not hit by snails, but this was a relatively older plant. This is almost over a 2-year plant, whereas this one, I just got these bulbs 6 months ago, and they were just beginning to grow as the winter was over with the beginning of spring. And just another example of the snail damage I get. Let's see, oh, this is it, and here, let me take this here actually. But this is over a year ago that all this damage happened, and I thought I was going to lose the plant, and it has been growing, so I'll have to carefully observe. So there are many conditions that I watch for, whether it's snails, little bugs, the weather, whether the sun is too hot or intense, or it's going to be 3 hours of sun in this place or 5 hours of sun, the soil medium, and their watering conditions. Some of the orchids that have, or I should say prefer, cooler weather are in my pot-in-pot method, which, let me see if I can show you that. This is the pot-in-pot method for the cool growing Dendrobium Victoria reginae that really cannot take my weather. I have this kind of a setup, and it is rewarding when you see these buds that are coming up. Let me show you. So this is of course in fired clay pebbles. This one has a hole right there, if you can see it, and it grows in these really small, again, fired clay pebbles. I keep it moist and I leave it in this pot. So it has much more cooler root system, and it prefers it moist as it comes from the rainforests of Philippines. So a few of the things that I do for my plants. If you all have any other questions, let me know, and thank you for watching. And this is the driveway jungle, as my, or the entrance jungle, as my husband states. Be well, everyone.